2024 was a banner year.
2024 was probably one of the most interesting years I've had.
My year was great.
2024 was just active.
We could have said for that year that travel was our middle name.
We try to do what we can while we can. We try to take advantage of the fact that we have the ability to move around, and that ability may not last forever.
Every month contained a spectacular trip for one or both of us. Beginning in January, we started out the year by spending time down in Puerto Vallarta.
We escaped the cold by going to Puerto Vallarta.
We shared in that experience with cousins Bunny and Jay Clifford.
But we celebrated Karen Clifford's birthday. We had an excursion to Yelapa.
February rolled around and Charles and Christopher took a father-son trip to Peru.
We started off in Peru on a very culturally in-depth dive into South American history. Met a lot of cool people.
Then it was off to Peru, where we walked around downtown Lima before heading off to the Andes, and it's the region's capital city of Cusco. We visited some ancient salt flats and an ancient agricultural experiment station. We took in a typical Andean village and then boarded the train and headed up to the lost city of Machu Picchu. And then visited a sacred site that's literally called Sexy Woman.
While they were in Peru, I had the opportunity to go out to California and visit with my brother, whom I had not seen since my mother passed in 2020, and with cousins Cynthia and William Langley, and their siblings and grandchildren.
Started off the year in Nashville, made my way to Pittsburgh, traveled for work to Dallas, spent a week in Dallas.
In March, we went up to New York. Of course, Charles had his board meeting, but we also had the opportunity to catch the Harlem Renaissance exhibit at the Met. April took us to Hilton Head, where we were able to celebrate with our cousins Marcy and Mel Johnson.
And we joined for Cure for Moms in the observance of Black Maternal Health Week.
And then we rolled into May. We were back in Hilton Head. Charles sits on the Penn Center board, and they had their annual gala in May. And then we went on our annual trek up to Rhinebeck for the Bard commencement.
So this year we presented honorary degrees to Naomi Oreskes, Imad Abu Kishek, Ellen Itzwe, Chancellor David Banks, Howard Block, Richard Frank, Carla Hayden, and Rachel Wise.
We rolled into June. We started out going to Fairhope, Alabama, hung out at the Grand Hotel there.
This excursion was a silent auction item from an Alabama Shakespeare Festival gala.
We had the opportunity to go to Amelia Island for the State Bar. We left Amelia Island, we went to San Diego for the Boulé, it's grand. We then went to New Orleans to celebrate with our good friends Trojanelle and Brent Wilson, their 50th wedding anniversary. And then we hopped on a plane and went over to Portugal to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary.
We're grateful to Tom and Barbara Larkin for joining us in this celebration.
where we spent time in Sintra.
Sintra is an historic mountainous retreat for the Portuguese aristocracy. Sintra has a number of royal palaces, and we got to experience the hospitality of Lawrence's Hotel, the oldest continuously operating hotel on the Iberian Peninsula, which over the years has welcomed such distinguished guests as Lord Byron and Charles and Sandra Johnson.
We did a front-end extension in Lisbon.
We got a rare chance to learn about Lisbon's African heritage.
And we also spent time in Porto and visited other cities along the way to Porto. With a Viking river cruise on the Douro River.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait.
We wrapped up the river cruise and we went to Barcelona. And Charles found a wonderful beach town about 45 kilometers southwest of Barcelona called Sitges. And we spent time on the beach there and celebrating the Soccer World Championships with these Spanish people.
I then traveled to France, got to ride in the Tour de France, from Monaco to Nice, around the south of France, got to go to the Olympics.
We went in I guess it was late August to enjoy the wedding of Kimberly Stokes, the daughter of Chuck and Trudy Stokes, who are family by love.
Got to go to Brazil, see a Formula One race.
Back to New York City, had the opportunity to see the Edge of Ailey exhibit at the Whitney Museum, and to go to see Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen. We hopped on a plane and went over and joined our Leadership Atlanta friends in Provence. There were two favorite things that I enjoyed more when we were in France. One was going to the village of St. Paul, Provence, a charming village with shops and artist spots all along its streets. And then I would have to say going to the cities of Nice and Cannes. Cannes I could live in. We got to know it very well. We went to probably one of the oldest restaurants in the city of Cannes and celebrated with our Leadership Atlanta alums. And I think that last night was probably one of the best nights that we had with the group there. And it was probably helped by the champagne that we all had at our table in these huge bottles of champagne that we nicknamed Big Daddy. And returned to Paris to round it out. The one thing I will not do again, we went to the top of the Eiffel Tower and then took the steps down. Once in a lifetime experience. Everyone should do it once. I don't recommend doing it the other way around, taking the steps up. You know, every year has its highs and it has its lows. And some of the lows this year were the loss of some very dear friends. The first of which was Averita Hansen, one of my closest friends and also one of my former co-workers at Fulton County. Also, C. Miles Smith, the father of one of my goddaughters, Fletcher Coombs,
Thelma Wyatt Cummings Moore,
and Howard Brown. Although they are gone, they will live on in our hearts.
I think 2024 was the year where I focused most on family. So getting time with my families, making sure I can see everybody.
Hang out with my nephews, have a good baseball season, have a good soccer season.
The thing I would not forget about 2024 is how fast time flies by.
May your 2025 be filled with love, laughter, and those special moments that memories are made of.
I want to wish everybody a very happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!